a Gundam style. What the fuck is up, new types? Welcome to WoW Cool Robot, the world's #1 and only Gundam podcast, sponsored by the Anti-Earth Union Group. I'm Max, and I use he/him pronouns.
Hey, we're sponsoring you. I'm Serum. I use they and also her pronouns.
And I'm Colin, and I use they and them pronouns.
It's Gundam time, baby!
Oh, yeah. ACAB. It's Zeta time.
Every time I hear the words, Ayug, I just kind of black out for a second and become Joey Wheeler in my mind.
Sand starts to fill my room, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to Egypt right now. I can't say these words.
Hey, Yug, there's no ethical consumption over under capitalism. We've got to destroy the police state.
Hey, Yug, I'm gonna steal this big robot.
Camille has never been allowed in a robot ever.
Camille is such a fussy little baby.
Every single time he gets in a robot, it's to steal it. And I love him.
The whole plot of Zeta Gundam could have been avoided if Camille was wearing one of those, like, toddler jumpers that has the monkey tail that's a leash that parents hold on to.
Oh, yeah.
He just needs that.
I mean, it is telling that they do have him followed around by an adult, like, basically
Pretty
everywhere
much
for
all
the
the
previous
time,
three
right.
episodes.
Like, the reason Emma's hanging out with the Ayug isn't because, like, she's following her truth, it's because she just needs to babysit Camille.
Yeah.
Should we just start in? Because I do want to talk about how, like, Quattro is just kind of comes out to, like, you know, hold Camille down to stop him going sicko mode.
Well, I mean, we're going to miss a lot of really important stuff first. Like, the first thing that we see in this episode is just Camille crying.
Yeah, and this episode that we are talking about is episode 4, Emma's Decision.
It's her decision.
She's made it. She's done it, folks.
She's made it. I respect her decision.
Respect Emma, very few left.
I'm saluting.
I am saluting. So yeah, Colin, how does this one start out again?
So, Camille's mother has just been shot to a million pieces by a big laser blast from Jared. And he starts to cry and go sicko mode. Emma
Camille
is
does, not
like,
Jared.
fuck this shit, runs down to the hangar, hops in her Gundam Mark II to roll out, and everybody's just like, should we let her do that? Yeah, why not? It's fine. Quattro's like, I don't know, I trust her, she's good, Emma's cool, it's whatever. Camille and Jared just start to throw down, and they, like, both run out of ammunition immediately. Camille's just, like, screaming about the fact that like, Jared killed his mom, and Jared's like, I don't know what a mom is.
We Titans were born in tubes.
Yeah. And they just start straight up, like, they're wrestling. Like, they're just grabbing each other and just, like, boosting around. And Quattro goes out, and Leela shows up, and a Gabaldi, and they're shooting at each other, and that's where, like, the real fight is happening. And then, you know, Camille's like, I don't know, I don't got guns, I need something else, and hits a button and pulls out an energy sword, and
Saber.
Yeah. Jared says beam.
Yeah, Jared says
It's
beam.
cool, okay?
And then
like
Emma says saber. It's cool. It's like,
they're ready to sit down and play a role-playing game.
it's funny because, like, they're both surprised by it, but they ostensibly have piloted the. Well, I don't know if Emma has, but Jared's
Like,
piloted
did
the
they
Mark
not know
II.
it was there?
Did they not know?
Did Camille only know it was there because he, like, hacked the plans out of his dad's iPad?
He got his dad's parental control password and was able to unlock Beam Saber mode.
Yeah, you know. Well, I mean, they were still, like, training with him earlier, too. And, I mean, Jared's so shitty with it, he flew it into a building. So I think it's understandable that they don't know that it has a beam saber, even though it...
There's probably a button that says Beam Saber and has a big cartoon sword on it, and I don't trust Jared to know what that means.
Yeah. Well, it's too small. It's too many words for Jared to read because it actually says Austin Ramsey's Beam Saber now available on itch.io, and he's just like he's like, I don't need an Austin gun. That doesn't make any sense.
He's like, tabletop role-playing games are for nerds.
Yeah. I'm a jock. I'm not a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna play a tabletop role-playing game that's really, really fun. And, but yeah, so Quattro tells I've just written them down in my notes as blondies because I still didn't know their names. Quattro is like, yeah, guys, we should probably just give in to the Titans' demands, and, like, let's just kind of give them their mobile suits back, because she's getting real. So Quattro and Emma like go out and just kind of restrain Camille. They do knocking on Gundam's door.
Yeah. Like, this whole time Quattro is really playing 4D chess. He's thinking so many moves ahead. Like, he has a very, very big tactical brain. And I can't really think off the top of my head where we've seen other characters with big tactical brains like this. But I'm sure someone has in the past that we've seen before, maybe.
Can't think of any.
Impossible to say.
Well, I think we might know who Quattro learned this technique from.
Oh,
Quattro,
Quattro
does look at Emma and says, "That's a woman with some trauma now," which means that I can trust her to go and take these Gundams and bring them back at some point.
Yeah, yeah, he's just running a little errand, really.
Yeah,
but yeah, his apparent plan here, they can't get Camille out of the Gundam. So they're just like, all right, whatever. Just take the Gundam.
He's locked the door of his room. He's turned up the Linkin Park. He's just simply vibing.
Yeah, at this point, he's like halfway through Hybrid Theory.
He closes his sunglass visor, and then you just see that single tear. It's just, God, what a good shot.
It's really cool. I like it.
Wait, no, that's not on Hybrid Theory.
I like that they can tint their visors.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was just like an animation choice to like reflect the blackness of his mood after witnessing his mother dying in the void of space. I didn't realize until like the second episode that they had like fucking sun color changing visors.
Yeah, they have transition lenses.
Yeah.
That's what those are called.
Yeah.
Quattro wonders for a little bit. He's like, "Oh, is Emma a new type, or is she simply just sensible?"
Impossible to say.
It's like, yeah, impossible to say. And then kind of like Emma takes Camille and just like drives him back to Titan ship.
Yeah, this next scene that we get is pretty affecting because they're at the ship. We get a little cut in before they get to the Titan ship, where Quattro's apparent plan is to he knows that Emma's going to come back, and he's like, maybe she'll bring Franklin Badon back with her because maybe he'll be brought over to the AU cause.
Yeah.
So they get to the Titan ship, and Emma's like, can you confirm that it was your dear mommy, your dead mom, that was blown up in space into a billion pieces? And he's like, check the hands. And like, she sort of floats down, and like, there's blood on Gundam fingers.
Hey, what if there were blood on the hands of a giant war robot?
There's literally blood on Gundam's hands now. We're, all subtlety is out of the window.
You can't make this up, folks.
Like, Gundam, the show that just kind of started name-dropping Hitler in the endgame of 0079, it's a very subtle show.
Oh, yeah.
It's impossible to know what this means.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. If Quattro Bagino was Char Aznable, they would have told us by now.
Right.
Yeah. And they haven't, there's been no indication of it.
They would have looked directly in the camera. Otherwise, like, there would be no way to know the truth. if I don't get my information fed to me in an objective manner, then I haven't learned anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to give it like a shout out for Camille. Like, they break down the door of his bedroom / Gundam with like a big axe, and he's just like, Hybrid Theory has finished and he's just completely dissociated right now. They have to like shake him. And it was like, oof. Remember trauma?
Yeah.
Remember? It happens. It's happening again. Every time a little boy gets in a Gundam, they get trauma. If only there was a way to avoid this.
Listen, at least this time we get angry trauma instead of depressed trauma, because I will say Camille coming out of the Gundam and then just like spiking his helmet is the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
He's coming out of his cage and he is really not doing just fine.
No.
He is fucking raging. I think his dad is there for him to rage at.
Yes. Because he's like,
fuck this guy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Dad, I bet you're so happy now that Mom's dead. Aha. And he starts laughing about it, too, because he is just not having a good time.
He's really not having a good time.
I wonder if there's like a reason why all the Gundam dads suck.
I don't know. I've never read any interviews about Tomino's relationship with his father, but I'm going to guess it wasn't great.
Yeah. Give us the answers. Tomino, come on for a special interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of email tomato.com and see if he's free.
So after Camille, roasts his dad in front of everyone, Franklin goes to Bask, and Bask says the exact same thing. He's like, "Yo, but you're happy you can hang with Margarita now." It's like, get his ass.
Oh man, like the best thing about that is like while Camille's roasting him, and just like Bask is like on the TV, just like watching a mistress. Oh, he be fucking. I'm gonna get him for that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this in my little black book.
Bask is just like, girl, spill the tea, Camille. Oh my god.
Spill that space tea.
Spill that space tea. You can't spill it. It's in a little juice box.
Yeah.
Camille kind of is on like the Titan base and like bumps into Jared, and Jared is like, oh shit, man, like, I heard I killed your mom. Like, whoops, sorry, my bad. Didn't mean to kill your mom. Woof. Sorry about that.
You baby, you big baby, your dear mommy's dead.
He called him a baby, and I was like, oh, this guy's dead yet again. But actually,
yeah, he's like, Jared keeps taunting Camille, and then Camille like sort of tries to be the bigger man here, and he's like, I must direct my hatred towards the military, and it's like, okay, you're getting there, yeah.
Yeah, Camille's like straight up like, I'm woke now, I'm going to forgive you and tell you that we need to fight against systematic oppression because fuck the Titans. And like, yeah, cool. I'm glad that Camille read the pamphlet.
The fucking direct quote is, I'm good enough to beat you, but I'm powerless before the system. This cruel military system. Like, damn! Subtlety.
Do you get it yet?
It's impossible to know what this means. It's just, they're probably setting something up for something like 7 seasons down the road. There's no way to know what this means right now.
There's no way to know.
But yeah, we cut up to like Bask and some guys, and Bask is like, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
I feel like he's only saying that to sort of appease Emma because Bask does not seem like the kind of guy who regrets doing some sort of war crime like that.
Yeah, because like he follows it up with like, oh, Emma, little Emma, I think you could have done a lot better. Why don't you go over to the Argama and get us back one of their mobile suits with your superior tactical mind that's definitely far better than the thing that we just kind of did with the ransom and the murder and this stuff. And he just kind of tells her to go get him a mobile suit. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great, but like he does this and it's just funny how conveniently this works out for Emma and Camille, because like immediately after that she's like, okay, and then like the next scene is like she just like knocks out a guard and takes Franklin and Camille with her.
She fucking punches a man's tooth out. Like
go Emma.
Yeah.
I like Emma.
Emma's great.
Yeah. Also, the scene of Bask telling her to go over to the Argama is like interposed with the scene of Quattro on the Argama being like, I think Emma's gonna come over.
Mm-hmm. He's got that new type intuition.
And blonde captain man whose name is Henkin is like, oh yeah, I hope Emma comes back, and like stars float around his head, and he gets really, everyone. There's a we'll get to more of it, but there's a hell of a like you could cut the sexual tension on the Argama with a fucking knife.
we're not quite at the horny episode yet, but we sure get there, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't notice any of that. It took me until like 2/3 of the way through the horny episode to be like, horny.
Yeah. Well, there's not there's not a whole lot to do in space.
Yeah. Sarah, you operate on a higher level than us base creatures, so
you're a new type.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
My frequency of perception has gone beyond horniness.
Yeah.
So yeah, Emma is breaking some lads out of jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camille's
great.
got some pajamas on.
Yeah.
Camille has a lot of really fun outfits.
Yeah.
He has a sense of fashion. I like it. He's like suspecting that his dad is up to something because there's certainly no reason to suspect otherwise.
Yeah, his dad's just like, wow, cool robot. Tell me about this. Tell me about the Rickdias.
His fucking dad is the most wow, cool robot anyone has ever been on this show.
It's so funny.
He's like, wow, cool robot, son, who?
Yeah. No, the robot is my son now. See, I have the papers to prove it. But in order to get the normal suits, Camille has to do some direct action and beat up some more Titans. It's great. We love to see it.
You love to see it.
Y'all want to know something wild?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the Titans pilot with, like, no hairline, his name is Kakrakan. How old do you think he is?
I mean, like, the way you're saying it makes me think he's
Honestly,
one of those,
like 25.
Yeah, like, I think he's one of those 30-something conservative pundits that look like they're almost 50.
He's 24 years old.
Yep.
He's the oldest 24-year-old I've ever seen in my fucking life. And he gets his shit punched in by Camille.
I believe it.
He looks like a very specific, like, Doctor Who character from, like, the 60s that, like, has been bothering me for days. It's probably just fucking Nicholas Courtney again, but whatever. I don't know, he's just got, like, British officer energy. Like, dark British officer energy. He
could be played by, like, a young Patrick Stewart. I'd buy that.
I would want a young Patrick Stewart to do a good role, though.
Yeah.
Let Patrick Stewart play Quattro.
Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like Patrick Stewart would have a lot of fun playing Bask.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that's a shame.
He would enjoy himself.
Yeah. He would do a good job of it, which sucks because Bask, I don't want to see this, like, rotten to potato.
This toe man.
Yeah.
This nasty toe man. So they go into the docking bay, and Jared's there, and they have Camille and Franklin have their visors in full tint mode.
Oh yeah, they put on the Titan uniforms.
Right, they're indistinguishable.
And they're masquerading as, like, the other people who were supposed to... Because Emma got told, like, yeah, Emma, just take those 3 mobile suits and head on over to the Argama. So they're kind of... They have stolen they've done identity theft.
Identity theft is not a joke. But they get in. Jared's, like, trying to talk to Franklin. Huh?
He's still your identity.
Oh, no, that was an Office quote.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Okay.
It was very rude of me to quote The Office on a podcast. But Jared thinks Franklin is Capricorn. Jared thinks Franklin's a Capricorn. And he's trying to, like, get in the cockpit and sort of, like, tell him how to use Gundam, but Franklin just, like, shuts it quickly. And then Emma's like, all right, listen up. Open the store now. I'm going to blast through. We're going to peace out of here.
Yeah. Jared's one single brain cell turns on, and he's like, I think something wrong is happening right now.
Something isn't quite adding up about this situation. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. Camille has, like, a little kind of aside where he's like, oh shit, my dad can actually drive a robot. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense. He made it. I don't like to see him do things competently, but it makes sense.
Yeah, fuck this guy. So yeah, Emma like ransoms the entire ship and gets them out of there. They're like driving through space, getting chased by Titan people. Franklin's fucking, like, foot is broken or some shit, so he's, like, slower. So they have to, like, do a space fight.
Yeah, like Leela, I don't know how to pronounce it, goes out in her Galbaldi, her Gabagool. Quattro goes out in his Richard Diaz.
Yeah.
Camille, like, so this is something I noticed about Zeta is that I feel like they care a lot more about the ammo that Gundam weapons have, because Camille is constantly running out of rifle energy because he's just firing like a maniac because he does not know what he's doing because he's a 5-year-old toddler who is not supervised right now.
Yeah.
But Quattro, of course, comes and saves the day. And then things, like, sort of, like, immediately ends and they cut and they have all the Gundams in the Argama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, Franklin is over there fucking, like, busting a nut over the AU mobile suits.
Yeah. It's so funny because, like, Emma and Quattro are like, yeah, like, Emma's like, listen, I understand you're not going to trust me. It's fine. I'll do the work. And then pans over to Franklin, who's just, wow, cool robot.
I fucking love the relationship between Quattro and Emma that's, like, developed over the next year. Because, like, they just kind of understand what's going on with each other. That's just nice. Like, they're on the same wavelength. And I think it's neat.
Yeah.
I just think they're neat.
Real quick, I know generally we've been skipping over the kind of, like, endings and stuff, and I know that the best recommendation for Gundams is to not watch the next on because it spoils everything. But I do want to point out one in the ending, the little gif where Camille and Fa float towards each other during Breathe is just really cute. I like it.
It's nice. I want to see more Fa.
Yeah. And also every single episode ends with the narrator saying, "You will see the tears of time," which is the most ominous statement of all time.
Is that
That's
every
scary.
single one? Because, like,
every single one.
Oh my god! Because I watch the preview for the 3rd episode that we do every Wow Cool Robot episode.
Okay.
Just because, like, I kind of want to know. I want to know what's gonna happen. Like,
you want a little bit of you want an appetizer.
Yeah.
I want a little kind of.
Whet your appetite.
Wetter.
Ugh.
But yeah, I've heard this twice, and every time I'm like, okay. The other thing I want to shout out is that the Zeta Gundam ending theme sounds like the Wii Shop music.
You put that in the Discord the other day, and I lost it.
And since I found this out, I've just been like listening to the Wii Shop music on repeat.
I can't listen to the Wii Shop channel music without thinking of the Nirvana the Band to Show skit, where they like sing the game names over the Wii Shop channel music.
Okay. I've not seen this.
I'll post it after the episode. It will get stuck in your head, so I can't hear it without going like Super Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3. It'll like burrow its way into your brain.
Okay.
It's so funny.
Now you can sing that over the Zeta ending.
Yeah, exactly. I'll combine all my interests.
Yeah.
So next episode,
Father and Son.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, y'all seen space? It's fucking gorgeous.
It is.
Love to see space.
I like to see the rings of Saturn.
Yeah, and a dead body.
The majesty of the universe.
Yeah, and
the final frontier.
The final frontier. It can and will kill you.
Yeah.
Is dangerous.
They say some philosophy kind of stuff that I didn't really write down, but I was like Kermit nodding while the narrator was telling me this.
Yeah, it's just kind of like generic Gundam stuff, like, souls of people who are lost in combat will never see peace. I don't know who that might be referring to. Who knows?
Impossible to say.
Yeah.
And then our kind of first scene is someone being like, Oi, Mr. Bast, you've got to hire some space noids for the Titans. Like, you got to hire some non-Earth people for the Titans. I don't know why I chose that accent. That wasn't how it was in the sub. There are some really bad accents in the sub, though.
Yeah. Basque and Jamaican are watching play of the game from the last battle. Just on repeat, just Quattro shooting people's heads off in the Rick Diaz,
As one does.
They say, wow, cool red comet.
Yeah. They're talking about how they don't really have quite enough firepower to fight back right now, so we gotta get some big brain folks who aren't from Earth, because we gotta tap into some of that new type juice.
Yeah. Man, weird, just wild that Franklin was talking about wanting to get some some Xeon technology for the next line of mobile suits, and now Jamaican, I don't know how to say his name, it's ridiculous, is like, well, we should really get some space noids, and Basque is just not into this, and I just don't know where it's gonna go. It's they keep being like, let's get some space noids involved.
Well, it's because Basque is fighting the anti-Earth Union group, so I think, as a baseline, he has to be pro-Earth, so he can't have any space noids. He has to get them, homegrown boys from Earth.
Yeah, terrestrial boys like Jared only.
Just more Jareds.
Yeah.
That's all I want out of Zeta.
We need boys with more earthbound milk in their bones.
Yummy. Delicious.
We need boys with taller hair.
we need as much pomade as the army can afford.
Do you think that Jared's hair used to be smaller when it was on Earth, but now that he's up in space and his hair is no longer restrained by Earth's gravity, that it's free to grow higher and higher?
Yes, this is canon.
Absolutely.
It's I think it's a theme.
No one could argue it.
It's about hair, this show.
It's about hair.
So we get a thing about the Titans. They're looking for a Yug HQ. And then we cut over to the Argama, and Quattro has fucking JoJo arms.
They're the most, I just have it written down that just Quattro is fucking jacked. His arms are so big.
He spends his entire spare time doing pull-ups and push-ups and all other kinds of ups.
He has a Vegeta gravity chamber on the Argama. It has to be.
Oh, well, I mean, the Argama does have gravity bits in it.
They put that in so that Quattro could work out.
When it's not in combat and it's got the two big spinny arms.
Mm-hmm.
So the two big boxes on the end of those are the residential units. So when they're not in combat, they can have gravity while they're sleeping and drinking coffee and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So and so Quattro's in that, but it's spinning really, really, really fast.
They make everybody go inside the ship and just spin it up just so that Quattro can do push-ups.
And we see, hey, they're repainting Gundam finally. They're like, okay, so if we're going to have these Gundams, we can't have them be cop colors. Let's just paint it like the old one and call it a day.
Yeah,
we're doing
they saw last week's episode art for Wow Cool Robot, and they said, oh, wow, we got to give Max more work and make him make another...
yeah, God. At least I have like half the show with the regular Gundam now.
Yeah.
I don't need to change it for another couple months.
Yeah. And the dad is there doing what my dad does whenever anyone's fixing cars in his presence and is just being like a micromanager.
Yeah.
Actually, my dad's not as bad as the dad in this show.
Yeah, it's a pretty high bar to clear.
Yeah, I mean, has your dad ever grabbed a welder and threatened to kill somebody with it?
Normal stuff. Normal stuff. He's like, yeah, they're like, Franklin, hey, buddy, you're getting a little close. Like, you remember your position. And he's like, hey, check this out. And he, like, pokes the welder, like, the blowtorch into the guy's chest. And he's like, well, this could kill you. So, how about you come with me?
If my dad were to say the line, this torch can cut flesh, it would be as a warning for me to be careful when using it. And not as a literal threat to someone's life.
Yeah.
Everything's different in space. So he's gonna take a Richard Diaz because and not only any of them, but he's like, I want the red one because he does not respect the man of Quattro Bagina, which will become his undoing. He just, I don't care for this guy much.
Do not protect men who do not respect Quattro Bagina.
One person is allowed to have a red robot.
Yeah,
and it's either Char Aznable or Quattro Bagina. I don't care which.
Yeah.
As long as one of them has a red robot.
And we don't know what Char's up to right now. He's off doing Char stuff or something. Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, he's probably in a red robot.
Yeah, he's taken some time off. He's just like kind of relaxing, having a little recharge.
Yeah. He's enjoying some cocktails somewhere.
I wonder if he has a butler. Ugh.
Ugh. Fuck people with butlers.
So... yeah, Camille like wants to go out and stop him, but Quattro's like, no, buddy, you can't do this. Like, do you think you can fire your own dad? Goodbye.
Could you shoot your own dad, Camille?
He looks directly in the camera when he says this.
Camille literally says the line, I can't believe he's done this, whenever Franklin steals the Rick Diaz.
It's good. And either Rikoa or Emma, I can't tell, is like trying to like, hold Camille still and trying to get him from escaping, but he's a slippery boy. He's covered in butter.
It's Rikoa right now. She's the one who's kind of like keeping a handle on him while he runs around the ship.
She's got the leash.
she's got the monkey leash.
Yeah.
I think what they did was they changed the leash to be one of those dog leashes that like stretches out and comes back so that he like thinks he's got a little more mobility and so he doesn't cause as much kind of chaos.
Mm-hmm. And then we get an interesting line here from the tan Abraham Lincoln stripper looking guy on the bridge crew.
They say that Quattro has BRCE.
Okay, I'm working through it. I know what two of the words are going to be. Hit me.
Big red comet energy.
There. All right. Yeah. I thought it was Char, and I was like, BR. Yeah. He's like, I was at the Battle of Abaku. I was in a salami. And I sort of feel I didn't witness the Zeong, but I feel the same power from the Red Comet that I do from Quattro. I wonder if there could be a link. But as we all know, correlation does not equal causation, so they're probably two different people.
Mm-hmm,
Listen, lots of people can have immense new type power. It's
right.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Quattro is doing piloting without a normal suit on. He's like in the robot with his fucking sick sleeveless.
It makes him fight better.
Yeah, listen, he's got to hop into Gundam and he's got to feel it just with his bare skin. He's just got nothing between him and that Gundam. He's never been able to do this before.
It's like, I don't know if either of you have driven a car that doesn't have power steering. Basically, Quattro turned on the limiters off in his Gundam so he can, like, drive it without the power steering that Gundam has, which is why he needs to have his muscle out to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And that's why he works out. It just, it makes the piloting experience better and, more importantly, just way more erotic.
Yeah, you gotta see the muscles ripple.
That's what we're all thinking. You've got my muscles. My muscles. Camille has this buck wild line while he's in the Argama where he's like, oh, I can't believe Dad left to go and see his girlfriend.
Yeah, God.
And yeah, and he gets all mad about, like, at, I think, Rekwa, he's like, oh, like, so you have a normal family? Fuck off, mate. This boy has issues, I'm starting to think.
Yeah.
Give him space therapy, please.
Do they have a therapist on the Argama? They really should.
They really should.
I think they just assign you a dad when you get there.
Yeah.
To replace your old shitty dad.
Like, I just... things are sort of going crazy from here, because they're all fighting. Like, they're all trying to grab Franklin. Jared, like, blows Quattro's Gundam's leg off. And at this point, Quattro's in a normal-looking Gundam. This doesn't have cop colors. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we see Franklin in getting horny in the cockpit, which is a fun thing to write down.
Oh god, yeah,
he's horny not just for the robot, but also for Margarita. Like,
yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Don't do it.
Wow, cool
like
mistress.
Like in my notes, like every 3 lines, I just have the words "fuck this guy."
Yeah, it's just oof. Ah!
Yeah.
But Camille gets in an armless Gundam that hasn't been painted yet to
Yeah.
join the fight.
Oh shit! Because you guys are watching the sub, you probably may not have noticed. He does a funny fake voice. He like tints his visor to black and is like, "Hey, I've been assigned to take this robot."
Oh my god.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, what he says in the sub, he says something like, well, they ordered all the robots to fight, so I gotta go out in this one. See ya. And they just let him. They know that they can't stop this boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like once he gets in there and locks the door, you know, the blondes are like, it's fine. Let him
they're
go.
way too trusting, because like anytime anything like weird happens, they're like, we could probably trust Emma, it's fine. We could probably trust Camille, it's fine. Just let him go do it. It's, it'll work out.
What do you mean you can't? Everything did work out.
Everything worked out totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh, also, the Gundam that Camille steals only has 1 arm.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
yeah.
Gunpla.
It's Gunpla. He's not. They're not done building it yet. Camille, like, he eventually gets out. They're like, yeah, well, whatever. Test his skills. We'll see how he does. And he gets out and he catches up to Franklin and he like puts his own dad in a leg lock. It's pretty cool. And he aims at him, and his dad's like, "You should be grateful for everything I've done for you." And Camille's like, "You don't understand me, Dad."
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
but like, his dad is saying all this fucking bullshit and being like, "You're not gonna shoot your own dad, right?" But the dad, meanwhile, is like, finger on the trigger of his own robot, like, trying to shoot his own son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like too sweaty to shoot, though. Like, he doesn't know how to, like, when it comes to it, he can't really pilot the mobile suit in combat. He's too sweaty.
Yeah. He just slides off.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta take your normal suit off and get your shredded muscles out. But Franklin has no shredded muscles.
You gotta
because
get that
he's fucking
tactile
pathetic.
feel.
Yeah. You need a moisture wicking sleeveless turtleneck.
Yeah.
Moisture wicking. God.
That's a good workout shirt.
Yeah.
What happens next, though, after we have this little showdown?
Quattro kills him.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Wait, is it Quattro that kills him?
I thought it was like stray fire from the Argama.
Oh, it
Yeah.
might be, yeah.
Stray fire from someone.
Yeah.
Like, because I've got written down, get wrecked, Franklin, but by someone else, and in big notes, I've got question mark, who is it? Because I never figured that out.
Yeah, he used like a voice afterwards.
Yeah. Someone's
We don't know
like,
who.
I've killed your dad. And he's like, oh,
I
someone killed my
thought
dad.
that was Quattro's voice actor, but maybe I misheard it.
I mean, I feel like if it's a mysterious voice, it has to be Quattro, because he's like the only character who can like sort of new type Skype someone like that.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe he meant like our side. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. But the important thing is his dad has beefed it and is like floating out into space. He's dead. Oops. Bye.
Yeah. But like what I was going to say was like the show is kind of frames this in a way that it should be some kind of like mystery of like who shot Franklin Delano Moneymaker. Like, but I don't know if you guys got that. And will this be a thing that comes up again? Like, I don't really care who killed Franklin. I'm just glad he's dead.
Yeah, I think the way that it kind of reads more to me is just the combat in Zeta is just a lot more like frantic and chaotic. And it's kind of like, yeah, his mobile chute gets shot up and he kind of like crawls out of the cockpit for some reason and then just gets like fucking blasted by some stray fire from somebody off screen. Like, I think that's just... it's setting us up for what Zeta's gonna be like.
Yeah, like honestly, every time there's like more than 3 space lasers on screen in Zeta, I kind of just vague out because like I can't track what's happening.
Okay, well, I have good news. The Gundam Wiki does not mention any of this, so we'll never find out.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
Really wish it could have, but oh well.
Yeah.
So anyway, at this point, the Titans get the orders to retreat because they've lost their bargaining chip with Franklin and their Richard Diaz. So they're like, all right, whatever, let's go home. Take our ball and leave.
Jared is here saying Prince Zuko dialogue.
My honor.
Shit like that.
I don't care for Jared much. I do like that everyone just dunks on Jared around this point now. They're like, wow, you really suck at this, buddy.
Yeah, it's like Jared's like, oh, I've gotta regain my honor, I've gotta prove myself, and like Bass like, you gotta actually do anything before you can have pride. Come on. Just be good.
I'm not owned. Camille says the line of like, why do you guys fight? Fighting only causes problem. But he says this while he's repeatedly firing his beam saber in their general direction.
This dude is like, he's not good at aiming, first of all.
Well, he's good at punchies.
Exactly. He's a melee fighter. He's not good at range combat.
Yeah. He went to judo class. He always skipped pistol range shooting. Just never did it.
Yeah. So they're like, we cut over, we see the Titans. Bask is like heading back to Grips. And he's talking to one of his commanders, and he's like, yeah, assume half the Federation army's AUG. They're probably not at Granada. Let's keep looking for him, buddy. Which is like, I feel like half is a really big estimate here.
Yeah. I think maybe I missed that, because I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
The only thing I picked up on was that, like, the Argama is now gonna drive over to Earth for some reason.
Road trip, baby.
They're taking a little road trip.
We're going. Yeah, I think this is like, probably as much like paranoia on Bask's part as anything. Yeah, we'll see this play out.
Yeah.
And then we get like a scene in the like Argama
the green room.
Yeah, the tree room.
It's the green room.
It's got 2 ferns and some green lights. It's,
Colin, why is it green?
It's where you go to vibe.
Between 2 ferns.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've got like a little smoke machine in the corner and like nice green light for vibing and being sad about possibly accidentally, maybe, but not quite shooting your own dad.
If this anime was made in 2015, it would be blue and pink with checkerboard floors and lasers occasionally,
Right, yeah. This is just like a pretty buck wild scene. They pack a lot of exposition into these couple of minutes here.
Yes.
Like Quattro's talking about how he's like, okay, Emma, you're probably a spy, and she's like, yeah, I get that. I would think you're a spy too.
Emma outfit change. She looks.
Emma outfit change.
Yeah,
it's cool. She's in like a nice little like sleeveless dress.
It's because she's a probationary officer now, I guess,
right.
And like part of that is getting her into something sleeveless. You can't have sleeves in the Argama.
Colin, maybe you can help me out here, because something I don't really get is we see the Titans on their collars of their normal suits and their jackets. Otherwise, they have their sort of rank there. There's like those little like diamond studs and some like stripes denoting your rank. But also the AUG does the exact same thing.
I assume that's because the AUG is technically mostly people who've defected from the Titans and the Federation.
Okay.
So they'd probably use the same rank structure, but they wouldn't be using like Xeon emblems or anything. I mean, we certainly don't know anybody from like who served in Xeon who's currently serving in AUG at all.
Yeah. I mean, Quattro was like, raised on Earth.
Yeah.
He joined the ranks of the Federation, became disillusioned with this power structure there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
But yeah, like Emma kind of came in here, felt the vibe, and was like, okay, I want to join AUG, so I'm going to kind of show that by cutting all the sleeves off all of my outfits.
Yeah.
See she's done
to prove
here.
it, yeah.
Yeah. They kind of, people, the conversation moves on to, like, the concept of parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Which Camille's not having a fun time with here.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Camille would really like 5 minutes to process the fact that both of his parents have died in like half a day.
Mm-hmm.
God, it really has been like a day at most, huh?
Yeah. he talks about, he's like, well, I'm rejecting my parents. They're not normal parents. They're like weird military freaks. They always ignore me, their child. And Quattro's like, okay, yeah, maybe your parents sucked, but you can use this opportunity to create a better world for future children. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today, buddy.
Yeah.
Quattro, Bajena, I understand that you're trying to be helpful here, but this boy, in more ways than one, just needs space.
Yeah,
literally.
But Quattro's got to say the themes, and the themes are you must create a better world for the next generation of children, quite literally.
Yeah.
He literally does say that.
Yeah.
Also, the themes are, have you ever heard of Char Aznable? That's
Oh,
the other theme.
This part is so funny. It's so good.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of my good friend Char Aznable?
My good buddy, my pen pal. I haven't seen him in a while. It's like he talks. It's like, oh well, his circumstances are the same. And like when he mentions to Camille's like, oh yeah, I know him. Like I look up to him. I have a poster. I have a fat head of him in my room.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
And like at this point, Camille is like sobbing and he runs out and he's like crying on the bed. And Rakoa's like, why the hell did you say all of that crazy shit, dude?
Dude, you gotta stop talking about Char.
Yeah. What a
I
terrible
feel like
idea.
Bringing him up.
I feel like Rakoa's a little sus about this because she's like giving.
Oh yeah, totally.
She's giving Quattro some looks.
Like, she knows that Quattro is a direct pen pal of Char Aznable.
Yeah.
She knows that Quattro knows Char better than anyone else ever could.
She wants Char's number.
She wants his P.O. box so she can send him space mail.
Yeah. I don't know, and Quattro just keeps giving her like inappropriate arm touches too, just constantly.
Yeah, like it was. It's just.
You know why he's doing it? He's like trying to subtly hint to her that she's not jacked enough. That's the reason she gets sent to Earth in the next episode, because she needs to go back and train Sora before they let her back on the Argama.
Yeah.
They're gonna send her to that Earth gravity to do those push-ups.
Yeah. Oh man.
Your arms must be this wide to enter the Argama.
Every time they send her to the workout room, she like secretly turns the like spin rate down so the gravity is less, so that she can get her like assigned quantity of reps in before coming back to work. And like they just want to send her to somewhere where you can't adjust the gravity.
Right.
You
Yeah.
I just like this whole scene. Like the impression that you get is that like Quattro constantly fucking plays the Char card when he's talking about anything.
He plays the shard.
Yeah.
The Char.
But to make it
favorite
clear,
vegetable.
he isn't Char. He just,
No, of course he's not Char.
he's a totally normal guy who just can't help but name drop all of his famous friends. That's why he won't stop talking about Char and Lala and Amuro.
Look, if I was friends with Taylor Swift, I would be talking about her every damn day. I mean, I think I already do, but even more so if we were buddies.
You talk about Taylor Swift all the time doesn't mean that you are Taylor Swift.
We're different people. I have a poster from my room. I wouldn't have a poster of myself in my room,
Yeah,
We're
you're
different.
a completely different person to Taylor
Okay,
Swift.
but now I'm just imagining Taylor Swift with Char's helmet from 0079, and it's a really good look.
That's a pretty good
We
look.
have to stop recording right now because I have to, like, run to the woods or something. I don't know. I'm having a moment.
Char voice, because now we got bad blood.
When they make the Gundam live action movie, Taylor Swift will play Sayla.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be. I would. Yeah. That's pretty good.
She's the only blonde woman I know.
There's only one.
Okay, but what about Chris Hemsworth as Quattro? That'd be good. I want to see Chris Hemsworth with a mullet.
That would be pretty cool, I think.
I'm just thinking, like, just his like arms. They just need his arms.
Yeah.
They just... He's the arm CGI model. They have a totally different actor for the face.
Yeah. They just see Chris Hemsworth arms on. Okay.
What's the next episode?
No, never mind.
To Earth. What are you saying, Sarah?
No, I can't talk about it. We're in the next episode now. To Earth.
We've moved on. Jared's in like war classroom right now. Jared and Leela and a bunch of the other Federation people are like sort of being briefed on the Argama's moves. And they discussed like, oh, they're probably going to Earth. They're probably going to attack the sort of Earth satellite defense network here. And like that's like about all we get for the scene for now. Everyone's just like picking on Jared. It's great.
They're all telling Jared that he sucks shit. And then I guess
they should.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Oh yeah, the Rick Diaz is fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Camille's like it's like it must be so difficult to have to pick up all the parts of that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like saying this while he's drinking a juice box, and like the voice lines are voiced like they're kind of around a straw. I really like little touches like that. Like he's kind of muffled because he's like drinking out of the juice box at the same time and trying to talk.
That's
and
acting.
he says the thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He like I guess this boy, this small unsupervised child who has to wear a leash because he's a maniac is designing Zeta Gundam?
Yeah, he's just playing around. It's like they just kind of it's like when you put your kid like at a computer, but you're like the only thing that you have is like The Sims and like Crusader Kings 2, and you like leave him alone there for an hour and you come back and he's like unified all of Europe. You know, they just kids get up to it.
It's like when you put a bunch of toddlers and monkey leashes in a room with a bunch of typewriters, eventually they'll create Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
Like he finished the Gunpla, so he gets to name it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's I mean, Mike, when has he found the time? Because the AU guy is like, yeah, I can tell you've like sort of combined the Rick Diaz and the Gundam Mark II. Camille has not had a single like free minute since he's been in contact with both of these machines, because he's either been like watching his mom die or watching his dad die or having Emma and Quattro restrain him from like shooting people.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the guy is like, oh, this must be new type maths. He's really like, when you're a new type, you could just do maths really fast. It's good.
Ascon, she's like, you're totally a new type, and Camille's like, no.
No, thank you, please.
This is the first time that anyone's ever like bothered mentioning to Camille that he might be a new type, because people have just been talking about him for the last 6 episodes, and like apparently he doesn't need to know this.
When they can take him to McDonald's without him throwing a tantrum is when he'll be mature enough to learn that he's a new type.
Yeah. Listen, Camille isn't a new type. Quattro isn't Char. They're just 2 regular boys.
Normal people.
Folks, we keep telling you this. It's not hard to understand. But he takes a Zeta chip. He's walking through the hallways. Side note, I don't know if we see it much in the Argama, but I love that they sort of have these like handles that you can hold on the hull to like propel you forward because it's a 0G environment. Yeah. It's a cute touch. But he sees Rekoa. And he's like, girl. But then he gets a little closer and he sees Quattro. And he's like, girl and a different boy. Ew. And I don't know if he, like, tosses her the Zeta chip on purpose or lets go of it accidentally and sort of storms off.
No, I think it's, like, an accident. Because, like, you know, the situation where she comes over later to give it to him, he's like, oh, no! And, like, does some more awkward teen bullshit. It took me so long to figure out why he was doing this awkward teen bullshit. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. It was a mystery to me.
Yeah, Rico was kind of his girlfriend mom, and now he's running off to Emma, who's his new girlfriend mom, and it's weird. It's, Camille's having a little tantrum.
Oof. Ugh. I mean, like, he's 17, so it checks out.
Yeah, I didn't know how to have an emotion until last year, so...
Again, that's why you were able to make Gundam and none of us were.
Yeah, I get to name it.
You get to name it, exactly. So he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go see Different Girl now. Yeah. He goes to Emma, and like we sort of learned that Rekoa is leaving the AUG soon. Like Rekoa meets back up with him, gives him the chip, and then she starts talking with Emma like in the room, and then this is a cool scene because we see like the Abraham Lincoln bridge crew like surveilling Emma's room.
Yeah, they do not respect her privacy.
Don't do that.
The thing that's especially hilarious is they're in a room that's like literally around the corner too. That's just filled with TVs. It's weird.
It's just the Argama seems like a buck wild place to live.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have a nice cafe though. It seems nice.
Yeah.
They got a nice canteen up in there, I think. They got a Starbucks.
Yeah. they've got sharp fat heads on the walls.
Yeah.
They have a combination Taco Bell KFC in there.
Emma learns about police brutality from Rekoa.
Again.
Yeah, it turns out
like she's getting many revelations here. Yeah, you hit his call.
Yeah, it turns out the Titans did a big war crime, and when Colony 30 of like I can't remember if it was Side 7 or Side 3, but a colony had a protest about police violence, and the Titans filled the entire colony with poison gas and killed everybody in it.
Oops. Uh-oh, beans.
Yeah.
And, like, we see Emma, head in her hands, sitting on her bed, not having a good time learning this.
Yeah. And Camille's, like, listening from around the corner and being like, oh, I knew that wasn't just, police protests or something. Like...
Yeah, because, like, there's the difference where Emma is kind of, like, she doesn't want to believe it. She's like, oh, but the cops exist to protect us. And Camille is like, I've also just found this out, but I also then immediately believe it because I hate cops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thank you, Camille.
Thank you, Camille.
Yeah, we cut over to the Titans, who are... This is them recruiting space noids, right?
They're kind of like...
still the briefing.
Yeah, they're kind of like, they've taken in some a Federation ship. Leela's whole crew is basically, like, joining up with them, and they're being, like, sent off to go hunt down Ayug.
But whoever these guys who are being recruited are, they're fucking jazzed about the benefits.
They get 3 whole more days of vacation a month.
3 more days! Oh, nice!
Nice!
Wahoo!
Jared gets owned again by Leela. I love to see it.
Yeah.
It's good.
But Jared also gets promoted ahead of everybody else and is put in charge, and Leela doesn't like that and proceeds to dom him.
In the hallway, too.
And, Jared is thoroughly dommed here. It rules. He deserves it.
This is, like, the sexual tension here is unbelievable. I don't like it.
It turns out Jared gets mommy, and that's kind of really uncomfortable.
She's like, commence operations from my ship, the Bosnia. Oh, big boy. It's just, I don't want this. Not in my Gundam.
Okay, I literally have no idea what you guys are talking about, because the vibe here for me is just like, Jared fucking can't get over himself, and Leela comes over and is like, dude, you have to get over yourself. I can help you get over yourself. Come on my ship, and I'll just kind of teach you about the ways of the space.
Like,
that's all it was for me?
She said it with a side-eye emoji, though. Like...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, if there's a side-eye emoji, great. Oh my god.
Yeah, you gotta have the subtitles on to see the emojis that she adds.
The emojis they put in the subtitles.
I appreciate that she's trying to teach him how to become new type. Like, definitely does not work that way, but, like, I appreciate her for, like, okay, like, he's, like, kind of serious about swallowing his pride, so I'll humor him a little bit.
It is nice to see Jared finally admit that he does suck shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I love to hear it from his mouth. It's great.
I'm surprised it only took him 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we have a little bit of development. I still want to see him get sucked into the vacuum of space, but, like, all right, this is a point for you, Jared.
Yeah.
So, and then we get it cut over to the Argama again. Camille's talking to Quattro this time about the Colony 30 riot. He sort of asks about, like, how to do the right thing, and when can I take this stupid monkey leash off?
Quattro is, like, so chill. Like,
Quattro's
Quattro
dad.
smokes weed.
Yeah.
The reason that I know that Quattro isn't Char is because Quattro smokes weed, and Char would never smoke weed.
Oh my god, no. Char would, like, take a single, like hit of a joint, and then, like, start coughing way harder than he needs to.
And then he'd finish coughing, and he'd be a completely different person.
Quattro would, like, take a gravity bong hit, and just get into Rick DS immediately. And then, like, when he's done fighting and gets back to base, then exhale.
Yeah, he would, Quattro would do, like, just some dabs, and he would actually fall asleep for 8 years, wake up with much longer hair, put on sunglasses because he's not accustomed to the light anymore, and, just go about being a different person, maybe.
The reason he always wears sunglasses is his eyes are bloodshot to a concerning degree. It's because he has to, and that's why he had the combination KFC taco put in the Argama.
Yeah.
And then and he learns that Rekka was leaving the Ayug, and so Camille runs off to tell her something because, again, girl.
Yeah.
And then It turns out Quattro knows a lot of famous people because he says
he keeps name dropping. Normal people like Quattro just gotta keep name dropping.
Yeah.
People that they don't know.
He reminds me of my good friend and buddy of many, many years, Amuro Ray. Cool. Thank you, Quattro.
Yeah.
My buddy who definitely doesn't have a fucking swimming pool. I don't want to think about it.
I'm getting mad.
So
I'm getting
much.
mad.
I'm so like I'm just like I'm seeing that part of my notes and I'm just like I'm like Camille in like the first episode when he was growling at the cop. Except I'm growling at the cop and the cop is fucking
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're almost there.
Yeah. So we see Leela giving Jared new type tips again to sort of sense the enemy hostility through the mobile suit. You open your mind to the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
Hey Jared, these 3 weird tips will make you help fight in space. That wasn't a sentence. Will help you fight in space.
Number 1 may surprise you.
Number 1 is let your soul be freed from Earth's gravity. That's really the important part. You got to get it all loose and get out there. Just start feeling stuff.
Number 2 is war is bad.
Yeah. Number 3 is Wow Cool Robot.
Ah, and look at that. Now you're a new type. Bada bing, bada boom.
We did it, folks.
We did it.
Yeah. Back at the Argama, Camille kind of goes over to Requa in her little kind of like space car, just to kind of be horny. This is the point of the episode, which I realized it was a horny episode.
He's not even like able to say anything to her either.
Yeah, he's kind of like, you don't have to leave or I can go with you. And she's like, you idiot, only one person can fit in this space car.
This show is so fucking good at like portraying teen awkwardness. Like it just...
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Like the heat of teen awkwardness coming off of the screen is like, I gotta put sunscreen on to watch this show. I gotta put sunglasses on to watch this show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta wear Quattro sunglasses. It's like... Camille gets to Requa and he's like, oh, I didn't think I'd get this far. And he just like freezes up completely. It's great.
Yeah.
That is kind of a thing I like about this versus 0079 is 0079 is just like all teens all the way down. And it's kind of like nice to see a teen in an environment that's like mostly adults who are trying to deal with his bullshit as he just like runs around the ship designing mobile suits and whatever.
It's like, what if Amuro had 10 Matildas all around him at all times? Actually, that'd be pretty harrowing, I think.
Yeah, it would be horrible, and I'm kind of looking at it right now.
I am looking directly at it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to look at it. Oh, also, Quattro fucking destroys a satellite. I'm not quite sure what that was up with.
I think it's so Requa can like safely get to Earth.
Yeah, it's a couple of things. The first one that he blows up, they call the solar energy satellite, which I guess, based on my knowledge of dumb sci-fi bullshit, is like it's getting a lot of electricity power that it's then beaming to like the other satellites in the area that might shoot at them. And also
it's beaming to one specific person's house.
Yeah,
as well.
It might also be beaming to one specific person's house.
Because while Quattro's destroying a satellite, we find out that Requa is going to Jaburo?
Yeah, maybe.
She's gonna go surfing.
I remember that from Gundam.
Yeah.
Gundam! Jaburo, like from
South
Gundam.
America from Gundam.
Yeah, and then Camille is like, I gotta go protect Requa, and steals another robot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still no arm.
And still no arm, again, because he cannot be stopped. Cut to space, Jared is like amazed at Leela's new type power. She's able to dodge things without really looking around. He's like, whoa, your brain is so big. How do you do that? And then something happens. We see something, and I'm mad about it still. Just someone else take this. I can't. I'm too mad.
Sarah, you want to take this one?
No!
So, we go down to Earth. We're in, I believe, South Dakota, if I remember correctly, at an opulent American Frank Lloyd Wright-style mansion with a swimming pool. And sitting outside of it is none other, is a young man with curly brown hair. And he sees a flash in the sky. And then his butler comes out and says,
he's got a fucking butler!
Mr. Amuro Ray, the power's gone out.
Fucking bourgeois fuck!
Amuro Ray is in the American Midwest with a poolside hanging out with a butler.
This is our beloved little boy Amuro Ray. This is maybe the most.
This is not my.
This is not my beautiful boy.
This is a bourgeois traitor.
This is the most jarring way to be reintroduced to the hero of the first show. It's like, oh yeah, he's rich now and has a pool. What are you gonna do about it, asshole?
Okay, so like, I'm finished being mad. I'm trying to like look at this subjectively. I'm not finished being mad, but I'm repressing it fiercely. I'm very good at that. Like earlier in chat, like 2 days ago, I was like, actually, yeah, it was. I watched the first 2 episodes of this week yesterday, and then I was just like, I took a day to like stew on them, and I was just thinking, I was like, at this point in the show, I don't give a fuck about Amuro Ray. I don't care about that motherfucker. I just want to know about my boys. And then this episode, he just like turns up, and I'm like, I'm looking away.
Oh man,
I pretend I do not see it.
When you posted in the chat that you're just like, man, I'm fully separated from Amuro Ray. I don't care about it anymore. And I was just like, wow, I can't wait for you to get the next episode.
He's just there.
My fucking timing.
There's no warning.
Hey, what do you think Amuro's butler's name is?
Croquet.
Okay, yeah. Mr. Croquet, Amuro's butler. I believe that.
Or except it's fucking, because it's Gundam, it's like fucking croquette, and there's an apostrophe in there somewhere.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you had a glottal stop up in his name.
Sarah, did the butler have an English accent in the dub?
I honestly, like, my eyes
blacked out.
I blacked out, and I have no idea. He did sound very posh, but I can't remember if it was like an actual English accent or if it was just like that American posh accent that sounds not quite English.
Yeah, the transatlantic accent. Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask, does he actually have a name?
I don't know.
Okay, good. I was really afraid that you were going to hit me with his name and it would have, like, burned the skin off my face like you opened the Ark of the Covenant in front of me or something. His butler's name is, like, Jeeves.
Yeah. His name is Jeeves Jimbler.
I'm turning to a Dark Souls Hollow right now.
I can't wait to find out how Amuro got rich, other than from being an Instagram influencer or from, like, allowing his image to be used on shit bags.
Oh man, we'll find out. We'll find out very soon.
Gonna have a panic attack when it happens.
Or just by fucking selling signed postcards of himself, like.
I mean, that's what Bright's been doing, I guess.
True. Bright started an OnlyFans for himself.
Amuro told Bright about how to do this. He's like, hey Bright, like I made all this money by like this.
And you can too. So we have to move on because we're going to be talking about this for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
Literally.
We're back up at space.
We're back up at space.
I want to go back to space. I don't like being held down by Amuro's fucking wealth aura.
Yeah. Jared is attacking Camille again. All they know how to do is like melee each other and just like wrestling. It's like, I guess it's sort of like judo in Gundams and robots.
Jared literally runs out of bullets and throws his gun at Camille.
It's really funny. Camille, like, he first he cuts the Hyzak's hand off, which is cool. Then he kicks it in the dick, which is cool.
Yeah.
And like, Rekko is, like, finally able to launch, and while Camille's distracted, Jared goes for him. But Camille, like, gets his beam saber out in time and cuts, like, the side of the Hyzak off. It's great. I love to see Jared just, like, get completely owned.
It's, like, Camille's first, like, new type, like, mobile suit moment, too, which is really good.
Yeah!
Yeah, like, he's actually doing a pretty good job fighting for once. He's not just yelling or crying or experiencing trauma. Well, he's experiencing trauma because that's what happens in a robot. But yeah,
his trauma's nothing compared to the trauma that we got when we see Amuro.
Yeah. I'm a new type now.
Yeah, when you you open up an envelope and it turns out it's actually Amuro's Ray's mail and you see his bank statements.
Nah.
Is that episode?
Yeah, the last scene of the episode is like, shooting stars are seen all over Central America because it was the AU.
The Mont Blanc.
Yeah, like the Mont Blanc, like the AU sort of allied ship gets blown up.
Oh yeah,
but no one is on it, so we don't care about it.
Fucking eats total shit.
Oh yeah.
Also, like really easy to miss. There's like you do see 2 like AU GMs, and they've got like a really cool like teal green color scheme.
Yeah. Oh, were those GMs AU?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at them, I was like, oh, those are some like nice kind of pastel GMs. Yeah. But I thought that they were Titan stuff. Should have given AU more credit.
Yeah. It's okay. They
gotta hand it to them. Yeah. It's a GM, so they're a little forgettable. But that's episode. I will forever be mad about Amuro, and I'm gonna punch a hole in my computer screen when I see him again.
Yeah.
Class traitor. So now it's time for a little episode segment. And Colin,
Yeah.
I believe you've prepared a little something for us.
So, I know people have seen on my Twitter and definitely in the Discord, speaking of bourgeois class trader stuff, I've gotten really into cocktails over quarantine. And like a little bit before too. Yeah, so, while you all were watching 0079,
I was studying the juice.
yeah. I remembered this one little party scene where like Garma and Char were like hanging out, and so I like made and I also knew that eventually Garma was gonna die. And so I was like, oh, I'll make a fun little drink to go along with that episode and tell you all about it, and then I'll reveal what the name of it is when he dies, because it's Garma's fate. And so, like, where my head was at the time was like, okay, cool, they've got these dainty little, like, gobblety glasses, and it's got this kind of, like, pale, opaque green liquid in it, and, like, immediately, like, my mind went to, like, oh, as much as, like, it kind of, like, goes to, like, World War, like, One and World War II for, like, the mecha designs, like, Gundam continually loves to pull from the Napoleonic era as far as, like, uniforms and stuff go for, like, space people. Like
honestly, that's literally the reason that this show drew me in.
We love 1800 space Europe. It's just great. And so like my mind immediately went to absinthe for that, because, absinthe, when you add it with water and sugar, it like it falls out of solution and it gets this like nice cloudy green color, and like definitely was really popular in Paris at the time, and da-da-da-da. So like I made, for Garma's fate, I made, it was 1 part absinthe, 2 parts dry vermouth, and orange bitters. It's basically like an absinthe martini. That gets that perfect kind of like nice pale green color. It's very sharp, very good. Definitely makes you savor life before getting totally owned by the white base. And then I made a companion drink to go with it, which was with sweet vermouth instead, so it gets this nice deep dark red color, and you take it in one shot because that's Char's revenge against Caecilia. And then recently I found a recipe for how to make traditional lemon cordial, and I realized that I was boo-boo the fool. I was an idiot. They're definitely drinking a drink called a gin gimlet in that scene. This goes back to
Gin Gimlet is my other Gundam name.
Yes. Gin Gimlet is definitely a robot. So this goes back to the days of the British Royal Navy. You had to take care of scurvy, and the big way to do that is by drinking tons and tons of lime juice. And for your average sailor, that would be put into like rum with some water to make grog. At the time, British officers were all very snooty and highfalutin and didn't want to like hang out with the rabble on the ship. And they definitely also didn't want to drink rum, because rum was a very cheap style of alcohol. And they preferred gin, because gin was kind of like the liquor of high society London at the time. And so instead, they combined that together with lime cordial, which you might know from a product called Rose's Lime Cordial or Rose's Lime Concentrate in America, which is filled with like corn syrup and like yellow dye number 5 and a bunch of nasty stuff. But I did find a recipe from a guy named... already forgot it. A big cocktail man figured out how to make it like kind of like in a traditional manner, with basically just sugar, lime juice, lime zest, hot water, and citric acid, which is what makes it like really kind of like tart and also gives it its preservative qualities.
Wait, my mum makes this.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Is your mum a mobile suit pilot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all right, there we go.
If you wanna make it at home, like a pint's worth, you need like 250 grams of sugar, 240 grams of hot water, the juice from 2 limes, the zest from 2 limes, and then 2 tablespoons of citric acid, and then just like blend it all together, and then strain it into a bottle, and you've got it. It's good. It'll be good for forever.
Yeah, literally, my mum makes this like every kind of month. And
Yeah.
come to my house, Colin. I'll give you. We make it with lemons because they're just easier to get. But
yeah. Well, the big thing with that is the reason they made it with limes traditionally is I think lemons don't actually have vitamin C in them, so they don't actually protect against scurvy, which is kind of wild. But anyways,
oh no, I'm gonna get scurvy.
Yeah, so the way that they would drink this is, in mix it together in a barrel, or if they're back in London, they'd probably make it as a drink, and it definitely has this little pale green color. The cordial itself, which I'm pouring into a thing right now, is just
can we get some ASMR on this?
Yeah, is like just this nice kind of green color that's gonna go in there. I'm doing 1.5 ounces of that. And I've got some new Amsterdam gin because it's cheap and good, and I want 2 ounces of that, and oh boy, that's gonna go in there. And I've got some ice to make it cold.
Make it go.
Oh, I got a lot of water in this. I got this ice an hour ago. All right, no water in it now. And then we're going to stir that until it's cold. Get some nice ASMR in here.
Thank you for the noises, the sounds I'm hearing.
Okay, that's kind of hurting my hand, so that's probably cold enough. And then I've got a cocktail strainer. And bada bing, bada boom, it goes into the glass. And I've got this nice kind of pale white greenish drink. That now that I realize, because it's animated, and they probably just didn't want to make it translucent because it was 1979 and that would have been expensive, that this is probably definitely what they're drinking. It makes sense. Garma and Char are supposed to be these kind of young up-and-coming naval officer gentry types, and yeah, it's good.
Hey, take a sip, babes.
Oh, that is really good. It's basically, it's lemonade that fucks, basically.
Damn. That's a selling point.
Yeah.
Colin, I've just been thinking about the I've been coming to a little bit of a revelation concerning the amount of ancestors that I personally have who were in the British Navy in the 19th century. Anyway,
maybe at one point you were related to a Char a Char McCostumes. There we go.
Yeah.
Char McCostumes. Char McCostumes. Hang on, I'm writing that down.
There you go.
I'm spelling it Sharma and then costumes.
Might be time to update your branding a little bit.
Update my branding to Sharma Costumes. Just costumes for people who ship Sharma.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Colin. That was very nice and informative.
Yeah.
I feel like I got my thirst virtually quenched from that.
Yeah. Maybe one day I will do a segment about the invention of historical naval fiction and how it has to do with my ancestor Char McCostumes. This is not a bit.
We've done some genealogy work and we can confirm they were a real person.
Yeah.
It's crazy how Char McCostumes was the basis for Horatio Hornblower.
Yeah, Char McCostumes kind of was.
Well, that'll about do it for us. I will not forget to do the Robot of the Week after this, but now is the time when we plug our stuff and the show. So I've been Max. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and all other places at MaxyBajillion. You can find one of my podcasts, Pod of Greed, the world's number one and only Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast sponsored by Kaiba Corp. At twitter.com/podofgreedcast, and you can find my other show, Slappers Only, a video game music showdown podcast, and that's on Twitter at SlappersOnlyPod.
Hi, I've been Sarah McCostumes. You can find me on the internet everywhere at Sarah McCostumes, SARAHMCC Costumes. I have another podcast which isn't Pod of Greed that I also do. And my second podcast is Never Believe It, which is a Naruto D-Watch podcast, and you can go to narutohead.band to find it.
Yeah, and I'm Colin. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Padgettish, PADGETTISH. I have a podcast called Small Walk that's on hiatus until I decide to work on it again. And also, by the time this episode goes up, I will have been on Noise Space, sibling podcast. Podcasting is forbidden in the cloud recesses. I'm going to be guesting on that. In fact, in like an hour, I think.
Ooh, hot dog.
Yeah.
Say hi to Roy and Fallon.
I will say hi to Roy and Fallon.
The Virginia podcasting game going strong still.
Yeah, the old Delmarva podcasting community is,
Yeah. Chesapeake Bay Podcasting Union.
hell yeah.
And speaking of noise space, you can go to noisepace.xyz to find this show, to find podcasting incorporated in the cloud recesses, and many, many more. I've been saying it, 2020 year of the podcasts. Go check it out. Give them your patronage.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, Colin, I'm gonna elect you today.
Okay.
I would like you to. I know you did the bit. So I'm gonna zag on you and also ask you if you can provide me with your robot of the week.
Yes, my robot of the week is Mr. Trash Wheel.
Now, can you explain a little bit? Please elaborate.
Mr. Trash Wheel is a they live in the Inner Harbor
I love them.
of Baltimore, and they look like a big snail. It's
I remember this.
yeah, it's a robot they have set up on one of the tributaries that goes into the harbor in Baltimore, Maryland, that is basically set up to pull trash out of the river. It's got a water wheel that turns a crank on this kind of like escalated conveyor belt. So it's got these kind of like big, sometimes they'll do big fins that come off the front of it, or just kind of like floaties. And so kind of trash goes down the river and gets kind of like brought up to its mouth and gets onto the conveyor belt that's goes up because it's being turned by the water wheel, being, pushed by the river. And then the trash gets dumped into a big bin. So it's like cleaning the river, and it's like totally 100% like zero energy. And I love him. He is my favorite.
Eyes on the front.
I love them. Mr. Trash Wheel is my child, and he's doing good work for the environment.
That's awesome. Yeah, my girlfriend, she interned in the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, and I think they relaunched Mr. Trash Wheel with like a bigger version of him.
Ooh,
I think
Bigger
like
than
the
before.
the year she interned. I'm pretty sure she's told me about him before. So it's just what a delightful gentleman.
Supposedly, the water in Baltimore Harbor should the plan was to clean up the harbor enough using this to make it swimmable by this year. I don't know if they achieved that or not, but
I don't think I would want to.
Yeah.
Even if I was told the water's perfectly clear, I don't think I trust like that.
Yeah.
Because you go, I like Baltimore a lot, but like I don't think I like it enough. The most I'll get to the water in Baltimore is going to the aquarium there and hanging out and seeing their getting spit on by the archer fish, which happened to me. It was very cool. I got spit on by a fish and my life changed.
In Baltimore, the water comes to you.
Yeah.
That's the city slogan. And speaking of life changing, that'll do it for this week.
Yeah.
It's time once again for us to jettison ourselves into space and wait in Quattro Bagina's 100 times gravity workout chamber.
Yeah.
So we can return next week swoller than ever to deliver you more content. So that'll do it. As we have said, as we are saying, as we will always say for perpetuity, in the words of our ancestors, war is bad.
Oh, wow.
Cool robot.
Okay, now I know why you wanted to continue the bit like this, Sarah. Very good.